Cameron Payne has revealed the truth on having one of his best seasons in the NBA thus far with the New York Knicks, while multiple Knicks, including head coach Tom Thibodeau, Jalen Brunson, the captain, and glue guy Josh Hart, have all advocated that Cameron Payne is a massive part of this team, and we're going to break it all down. So what's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into the video as usual. And also, guys, make sure to subscribe to the channel. 25% of viewers are subscribed. Let's get those numbers up. Also, we're closing in on the big 10K. A little over 800 subscribers to go. Tell everyone you know, subscribe to Knicks Digest. Let's get that thing to 10K before the year ends. But guys, let's jump into it. Cameron Payne has been having a great season with the New York Knicks after a tiny bit of a slow start, and he talked a lot about this with James Edwards of The Athletic, who wrote a story on this and essentially took a lot of the general vibe of Cameron Payne's time with the New York Knicks, some thoughts by the teammates, some thoughts by head coach Tom Thibodeau, and most importantly, some thoughts by Cameron Payne. And we're going to jump right into looking at it because, you know, that's what we're here for. As Cameron Payne mentioned, the biggest experience was me getting waived, talking about his NBA career as a whole, and going overseas. I was just like, I will not ever go back overseas. I credit the little things, like getting on the floor, the things people don't do. I take that to the game every night. I don't want to go back overseas. That's my identity. I'm going to play with my heart out and do whatever I have to do to help the team win. And we have seen that from Cameron Payne since his return to the NBA. Cameron Payne's had an interesting NBA career. He looked like a promising backup point guard for the Oklahoma City Thunder when they drafted him, and he played well. He was very close with Russell Westbrook. Westbrook loved playing with Cameron Payne, and then Payne did end up getting moved to the Chicago Bulls, where he just could not figure it out. One of my good friends is a Bulls fan, and literally when I mentioned Cameron Payne to this day, he's like, nope, I don't care. I don't care. I saw him on the Bulls. I don't care. Which is, it's just funny more than anything else. But you look at, shout out my homie, by the way, shout out my guy Wally. But look, Cameron Payne has been awesome for the New York Knicks this season. I liked the signing. When they signed him, I did a video on it right away. The video did quite well. A lot of people in the comments were saying that they also liked the move. And it wasn't even clear if Payne was going to be in the rotation, and that stretched all throughout July. I mean, I did multiple videos talking about how it looked like Kolek was over Payne in the rotation and how a lot of things were panning out in a way that Cameron Payne was some of the best bench depth you could find, but he is playing a massive role with the team. He's one of the top minute getters of all the bench pieces. Him and Deuce McBride are arguably the best backup backcourt in the NBA this season. I mean, Payne and Deuce are working excellently together. Payne's not the world's greatest defender, but he gives it everything he's got on defense, which Tom Thibodeau loves. Meanwhile, Deuce McBride is an awesome defender, so he cleans up for Payne. Payne's a better playmaker than McBride. The two have great synergy together, and Cameron Payne, it feels like just Jalen Brunson light almost. Like, lefty guard, can score from all three levels. His strength isn't on defense, but he's not half-assing it on defense. He's going out there and doing everything he can to be his best self, and it's clearly working out very well for the New York Knicks and for Payne. Now, as mentioned, Cameron Payne talked a lot about this, saying, you take the little things for granted. In China, you have to take your own jersey to the game. Your shoes, you fly commercial. It's cool to be back in the league knowing things can get taken away from you. It was a humbling experience, and it got me back here. And I know what it takes to stay here. Cameron Payne has had a wild NBA career. I mean, going from being a first-round pick and being an important bench piece on the Oklahoma City Thunder, who were still trying to win, going at and then being on a Bulls team that was in a weird spot and still is, and getting waived and going overseas and getting some time in Cleveland for 8 games and playing in China, then Monty Williams giving him a shot in Phoenix, and then Cameron Payne just took that chance, and it clearly helped his game a ton. And Cameron Payne then was a very helpful playoff piece for the Suns for 3 years, and then for Philadelphia. I mean, he spent a good amount of time on the Suns, and in the playoffs, he consistently played pretty solidly. And then last year in Philadelphia, he played very well. And since Dariel's not here, Cameron Payne was 7th in shooting. 3-point field goal percentages, he was 7th last year in the playoffs, albeit it was a 6-game series against the Knicks that Payne and the 76ers lost. But still, on 3.6 attempts, he was hitting 1.6 of them, which is 44% from deep. The man was annoying to play against. I remember because, watching the series, it was annoying with Cameron Payne in the game. He was hitting big shots. He was taking momentum away. He was doing all the things that makes you hate Cameron Payne if he's not on your team. And now that he's on the Knicks, I love the guy. He's just one of those guys. It's similar to Patrick Beverley. But looking at the New York Knicks and how they feel about Cameron Payne, Tom Thibodeau loves him also. He said he came back and found his way in Phoenix and played at a really high level. It was one of the things we liked about him, that he had adversity. He found a way to get through that, rise above it, and had a role on a significant team that went to the finals, as did Landry Shamet. And of course, McHale was a part of that. But those three guys, the fact that they played in big games together was important to us. I mean, the first domino to fall to the New York Knicks was Mikal Bridges there, as the Knicks made that trade for him, trading Bojan Bogdanovic and 5 first-round picks to the Brooklyn Nets for Mikal Bridges. Bridges is also playing better now, which I just highlighted in a video, but we already talked about that, so we don't have to go back into that. And then they signed Shamet and Payne, and the three of them all played together and played in big moments on the Phoenix Suns together. They all looked good. They all had their moments where they looked like they were going to be NBA champions going up 2-0, and then you look at the way the NBA's gone, and all these guys are now back on the Knicks together, and we've seen that teamwork carries over to a degree. We've seen it with the Nova Knicks. Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson can essentially read each other's minds. We saw it with DiVincenzo when he got to the Knicks. We're now seeing it with McHale that he's on the Knicks. We're seeing these guys get paired back up together, and it's worked very well for this team. Alec Burks came back to the Knicks, instantly remembered his role with Tom Thibodeau, and had the highest true shooting percentage of anyone last playoffs. When you have guys that already know how to work together, it just helps the game out. And Cameron Payne is just such an extension of this team, and he's just such a New York Knick. Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart have gone out there and said the exact same thing, that the guy just is a Knick in every sense of the word. Now, taking a look at what Jalen Brunson said, he said that Cam has been more valuable than people think. To have him as a teammate has been an honor. There are only a certain amount of stars. There are a lot of people who need to fill a role. I've always learned playing basketball that you have to be a superstar in your role, no matter what role it is. You have to be the best you can be in your role. The most important thing I know is that whatever your team needs you to do when you win, you do. And with Cam, a lot of other players on our team have filled that role out and are striving to be the best at it. Most importantly, the way he's come in and been a great teammate and brought nonstop energy has been infectious. And as you could see, we're looking at a photo of Cameron Payne and Brunson getting up into each other's faces because they were getting chippy with each other. Cameron Payne doesn't mess around, and Jalen Brunson and Tom Thibodeau have both spoken out and have absolutely loved the fact that Cameron Payne is just another guy, just like how they are, hard-nosed, not taking anyone's BS, going out there and doing his job and getting it done well. And Cameron Payne deserves the flowers that is really starting to be given to him by the Knicks, by the fans, by the media. Everyone is understanding that Cameron Payne is a very valuable part to this team, and I'm very excited the Knicks went out there and got him. And so is the glue guy of this team, the man who holds it all together, Josh Hart, the do-it-all guy who, if anyone on the Knicks has a chance to get the most triple-doubles in Knicks history, beating Clyde Frazier's 23, it's Josh Hart. He's got 8 triple-doubles as a Knick. He got one against the Orlando Magic last night. That game was last night when I'm dropping this video. And, well, I guess it's also the same day I'm recording it, but you guys don't give a shit. I didn't say it. You guys don't care. You guys don't care. Almost cursed. I caught myself. But Josh Hart did say he has the energy in everything he does, and in life he approaches each day with joy and gratitude. That's what you like to see out there. A kid who is happy playing basketball. He's being around friends and family. When you have that mindset, the energy is contagious. Every time we have adversity, lose a game or two here and there, you need guys like that who keep the vibe up and the ship afloat. And Cameron Payne showing that he does that. The man has gone out there. He's dancing before every game. He's having fun. He's enjoying his time. He got booted from the NBA because he didn't play up to standards. And clearly he hated the fact that happened. And now the way that he's approaching the game, dancing before games with a big smile on his face in his media day photos, happy to be in the NBA, understanding that you can't take being an NBA player for granted. There's 450 spots in the NBA. That's so little, especially compared to every other major American sport. 450 is not that much. And Cameron Payne, who's been in the G League, been overseas, he doesn't want to do it again. He wants to be an NBA player. He now understands what it takes, how to lose your job in the NBA. And when you understand how to lose your job in the NBA, it becomes a lot easier to understand how you won't lose your job in the NBA. And Cameron Payne has done an absolutely phenomenal job at that. And that is just, it's just what you want to see out of a guy in Cameron Payne who this season is balling out. I mean, off the bench, he's putting up 8 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, shooting 44% from the field and from three-point range. He's shooting 80% on corner threes. Yes, he only has taken a few corner threes, but it doesn't matter. He's shooting 80% on them. The guy is hard-nosed. He wants to win. He plays the role that the Knicks need him to play. And as Jalen Brunson mentioned, Cameron Payne is a superstar in his role, which is what you have to do in the NBA. He's not a star player. He's never going to be a star player. He's probably not going to be a starter on a team that matters. He'll be a starter on the Knicks if Brunson's hurt for a game and Deuce McBride isn't there or something. But he's here to be a very important bench piece for the New York Knicks, and he has absolutely done that, and he deserves his flowers for that. So shout out Cameron Payne. You have been phenomenal to this team. He fits in so well with these two and this guy, and it's clearly showing that it's working so well. But I do want to know, what are your guys' thoughts on Cameron Payne's season? I mean, I love it. I loved the signing. I love the way he's playing. I know he started slow, but he looks great, and I'm a big fan of Cameron Payne's game. I'm looking forward to seeing that guy just continue to be annoying to opposing teams. It's great having him on this side because it was really annoying to watch him in Philly. But guys, let me know what you think down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Let's get to 10K before this year ends, guys. I believe I joined this channel in, I want to say late July or maybe early August of 2023. Let's get it done in around 18 months to 10K. And from there, Knicks Digest to the moon. Have a great day, guys, and go Knicks.